All right, good morning, my beautiful friends. So, today we're going to focus a little bit on collocations with prepositions. And we're going to look at verbs and prepositions, and we're going to look at adjectives and prepositions. And I got some questions just to start off with. So, question number one: what are you afraid of? What are you terrified of? Question number two: what is something you are hopeless at? Number three: what can you combine with vodka to make a cocktail? Question number four: who is someone in your life you can always rely on? Number five: I need to save up to buy a new car. What can I do? Number six: what are some issues people are not aware of but should be? And question number seven: is it good or bad to check people out at the gym? So many different collocations with nouns in those 7 questions I just mentioned. So let's start with afraid of, I guess, number one. Afraid of. To have a fear, to be petrified of, to be terrified of, something that fucking scares you. So, my name is Ronan, and I love open water swimming. I absolutely adore it. I swim across lakes, I swim in the ocean. I love it. However, I am also afraid of very, very, very deep water and very open water. I know it might sound strange because I am an open water swimmer. That's what I do in my free time. I swim in open water. Closed water would be like a swimming pool. Open water is a lake or the ocean. And I love it. I absolutely love the feeling of being in the water. But sometimes I get a little nervous and I get afraid of being completely isolated in the lake. I get afraid of the very, very deep water, especially when you look down and you can see nothing. I really don't like that. Another thing I'm a little bit afraid of are heights, actually. Heights. Heights. It's not a case where I'm afraid of elevators or I'm afraid of tall buildings or something. I'm not afraid of airplanes. I'm not afraid of many things related to heights. But the one thing I am afraid of, or I get a little nervous of, is when I'm hiking, I'm in the mountains, and I'm on a ledge of some sort, or I'm on a very, very narrow walkway, and to my left or to my right, there's a big fall. I really don't like that feeling. And sometimes I get a little nervous in doing it. So I guess I am a little bit afraid of heights, which is also kind of funny and ironic because I hike a lot and I go to mountains like all the fucking time. It's funny how that works, eh? Like, I'm afraid of open water. I'm afraid of deep water, but yet I swim in deep water all the fucking time. And I'm afraid of heights, but I go hiking and climb mountains all the fucking time. I guess it's just in my head. And there is a beautiful expression: in your head. If something is in your head, it's not real. It's fake. And so, yes, I have a fear. I'm afraid of these things. But really, there's nothing to be afraid of because the fear is only in my head. It's not a legit fear. If something is in your head, that just means you believe it, you think it, even though it might not be true. So, how can you use this? Oh, you got that idea in your head, get rid of it. Why do you always have these thoughts in your head? Or, hey, look, don't worry about it, it's only in your head, nobody gives a fuck. Like, imagine you make a mistake at a presentation and you think everybody recognized the mistake, or you think that everybody is focused on the mistake. Well, guess what? They're not. Because it's just in your head and nobody actually gives a flying fuck. So if it's in your head, it's not real, it's not actually dangerous, it didn't actually happen, or something like that. So maybe my fear of deep water is just in my head because I know there's no danger. I know there's nothing rational about it. So it's a weird one to be afraid of. So what are you afraid of? What is something that scares you? What is something that terrifies you? What is something that makes you shit your fucking pants? All right, number 2. What is something you are hopeless at? Hopeless at is terrible at. Very, very fucking bad at. I always gave the example that when I was in high school, I was absolutely hopeless at mathematics. I fucking hated mathematics. Couldn't do it to save my life. There's a beautiful expression. Couldn't do it to save my life. Couldn't do an action to save your life. Couldn't cook dinner to save your life. Couldn't do math to save your life. Couldn't lose 10 pounds to save your life. Couldn't save up money to save your life. couldn't shut the fuck up to save your life. Do you know someone who can't shut the fuck up to save their life? They're always talking. So, what is something you're hopeless at? For me, I'm hopeless at mathematics. I mean, maybe now, if I did it, I wouldn't be, but I was hopeless at mathematics. I am hopeless at dancing. I cannot dance, folks. I am hopeless at singing. When I sing, windows break and babies cry, for example. So hopeless at is something you can't fucking do. He is hopeless at. She is hopeless at. We are all hopeless at. All right, number 3 was combine with. What can you combine with vodka to make a cocktail? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I gave that question to my students and they had a whole laundry list of different cocktails. I'm not a drinker. You know, I gave up the booze over a year ago. I haven't had a drop. I've been living the life of sobriety. There's a nice word, sobriety. Well, California sober. I still get high as fuck on weed and mushrooms and LSD, but I certainly do not get drunk anymore. So I'm probably the wrong person to talk about combining whatever with vodka. Now, one thing I do love, or I did love, was a mimosa. Mimosa. Beautiful cocktail. And a mimosa is just champagne and orange juice. It's fucking delicious. It's simple. It's so goddamn tasty. And so if you combine orange juice with champagne, you get a mimosa. If you combine champagne and orange juice, so you can say combine with or combine X and Y, you get mimosa, for instance. I guess I just wanted to draw attention to combine with. Combine with is to kind of like bring together or to mix two or more items to make something new. Combine, oh, there's one. Combine coffee with Baileys. Now there's a beautiful way to start your fucking morning. Or whiskey. Not that I fucking drink. Do not combine different types of drugs with each other. There's one that I can talk about. Drugs. So, if you're smoking weed, I don't recommend you combine it with alcohol because it will change everything. If you're taking LSD, which is a very strong hallucinogenic, maybe 12 hours, hallucinogenic, isn't that a nice word? It's a very strong hallucinogenic. You go on a trip for 12 hours. I do not recommend combining LSD with many other drugs. Sure, I combine LSD with weed whenever I take it, and that's okay. I didn't have an issue with that. But to combine LSD with mushrooms or to combine LSD with cocaine would be a fucking recipe for disaster. So be careful, friends. Do not combine your drugs with each other unless you know the consequences. Be safe. All right. Question number 4. Who is someone in your life you can always rely on? I got a few people in my life I can always rely on. I can always rely on Jared. I can always rely on Dylan, for example. Of course, I can always rely on my wife, but I'm not talking about her right now. So to rely on is somebody you can call if you got a fucking problem. Somebody who says they'll do something and they actually fucking do it. So my name is Ronan and I can rely on my friend Jerry. I can call Jerry up at any time of the day and I know he will help me. I can rely on Dylan. And I know for a fact that if I have a big problem, I call Dylan, he will fucking help me. And I hope they know that they can also rely on me. Who is someone you can rely on to keep a secret? Who is someone you cannot rely on to keep a secret? Who is someone you could rely on in the past, but not anymore? There's one that'll get you thinking. And why? Why is that? Can you rely on your parents? Can you rely on your siblings? Can you rely on someone else? How can you describe a person you can rely on? Dependable. Stoic. Maybe not stoic, but dependable for sure. Reliable, of course. And trustworthy, you might say. Who can you rely on to help you if you need to dispose of a body? Imagine you killed a person and you need to hide the body. Who can you rely on to help you? In that case, I'd probably rely on Harry or Nikki. Yeah, probably those two. That's a very big ask. Hey, buddy. Just wondering, can you help me get rid of a body? Got a bit of a predicament here, for example. So rely on just means someone can fucking help you. It's great. I can always rely on blah, blah, blah. And you can rely on things as well, not just people. I can always rely on the Lord of the Rings to help me relax. And it's true. I can. If I'm ever stressed, if I'm ever pissed off and I watch Lord of the Rings, I know I'm going to be relaxed. So I can rely on that. You can't rely on airlines anymore. Airlines. They are such bullshit. I fucking hate airlines. And so many times I have relied on them and they've screwed me over. Screw over! There's another verb and preposition. But in this case here, to rely on airlines is not so good. You can't really trust them. Yeah, they say they'll take care of you. They say they'll take you somewhere. But let's be honest, you can't always rely on them because of issues. So to rely on is to always trust, to always know that something or someone is going to help you. Can you rely on your car? Now, that's a personal one. Because for a long time I had a car that I could not rely on. I would put the keys into the ignition and I would turn it and I would hope and I would pray to whatever God is out there, or gods, that the car would start. That car was unreliable. You couldn't rely on it. Now I have a reliable car. I know that when I put my keys in, the car will start. It is very reliable. I can rely on my car, for instance. So to rely on can be used for many, 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 many different things, not just people. All right, number 5 was save up. I need to save up to buy a new car. What can I do? Stop fucking buying drugs, Ronan. Jeez. That's how you can save up. I tell you what, over a year ago I quit booze and I saved up a fuck ton of money. My God. It is crazy how much you can save or save up when you quit drinking alcohol. And I know some of you have never had a drink in your life and you're probably thinking, wow, I must be desperate or something. I don't know. But when you go to a restaurant and you buy a meal, it costs X. But as soon as you start purchasing alcohol, that bill ticks up, up, and up. Tick up. There's another one. And adding alcohol to any bill will hike the price immensely. A lot of restaurants don't actually make money on food. They make money on booze. Did you know that? The margins are very, very small, like the profit margins for restaurants. So they might sell a meal for $20, but they won't make $10 on that meal. But alcohol sales are where restaurants really make money. So once I stopped drinking and once I stopped buying booze in shops or buying booze in restaurants, I was able to save up more money. Suddenly, if you go to a restaurant, I'd only pay for food, which could be $15 or $20. If you add alcohol on top of that, like one beer today is about $9 or $10 fucking dollars. Yeah, you might get a happy hour deal for $6, but still. I was talking with some friends the other day, and we were talking about, say, 5 or 6 years ago, how cheap everything was. And in Kelowna, where I live, there was a restaurant downtown that had a $5 menu. And you could go there with $20, be fed, and stumble home because you're pretty fucking drunk. And so it was much easier to save up money 5 or 6 years ago because everything was cheaper. I could drink and save up money. Today, however, it's not so easy. Today, you need to not drink, not have fun, not do anything in order to save up money. Everything has become so fucking expensive lately. It is so hard to save up money. Now, I don't know what it's like where you live, but I'm talking about my Canadian experience. And right now, Canada is fucked for prices. All right, question number 6. What are some issues people are not aware of, but should be? My students had some great answers for this. And it's funny because I have students from all different backgrounds, all different ages, and all different life experiences. And I'll be honest, I do kind of relate to the older students more because I'm the same age as them. And when I have my younger students who are like in their 20s, all I see are a bunch of kids or a bunch of fucking babies. It's crazy. And I don't mean babies in a negative way, I just mean young people. And I often wonder, was I like that when I was in my 20s? Maybe. It's a sure fucking sign I'm getting old. Anyways, back to this. The older students had some great examples. Some people say that one of my students mentioned how people are not aware of workers' rights in Canada. So when you go to work, you have rights. You know, you must be paid a certain amount. You must get a break after so many hours. You must have a certain amount of hours in between start and finish work, or finish and start work the next day. If you work overtime, you must get paid X, Y, or Z. And if you turn up for a shift, you must get paid for 4 fucking hours. You must. Even if you only work 2 hours, you must get paid for 4 fucking hours. A lot of people are not aware of these rules in Canada. A lot of people in general are not aware of these rules, and it can lead to exploitation. It can lead to students or workers being taken advantage of. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's really fucking bad. Now, my name is Ronan, and I am very aware of my workers' rights. In fact, I'll give you a great example. This year, the college where I work wanted me to start work at 8 o'clock in the morning and wanted me to finish work at 4:30 in the evening. That's not allowed. That's not allowed because we have a union. And the union have made a deal with the college where when you start work, you must be finished within 7 or 7.5 hours. Now, with the old schedule the college gave me, I would have been in the actual college from 8 o'clock until 4:30 p.m., which is far more than 7 or 7.5 hours. So, I spoke to my union, and my union are very aware of the rules, and now I am, and as it turns out, I was able to get my schedule changed. The college should not have scheduled me for that. But I bet they were banking on me not being aware of my workers' rights. The rights that the college have fought for. So because I'm aware of the rules and aware of the rights, I don't start work until 10 o'clock. Sometimes I don't start work until 12 o'clock. How perfect is that? Isn't that amazing? So like right now, it's 9:05 a.m. I'm in my house. I've had a million coffees. I'm jacked to the tits on caffeine. I am ready to go. And I've had all morning to myself. It's fucking brilliant because I'm aware of the rules. Aware of. The way we pronounce it, kind of cut the O. Aware of. Another thing people need to be aware of are tenant rights. Tenant rights. If you rent an apartment or rent a house, you are a tenant. If you own it, you're a homeowner. I am a tenant, and I know my fucking rights. What rights am I talking about? Well, I know that the landlord is unable to increase my rent by more than 2 or 3% every year. I know that because I am aware of my rights. I know that the landlord is unable to get rid of me or unable to kick me out for no fucking reason because I am aware of my rights. And my students had so many good examples of people not being aware of their rights. Their rights as a citizen, their rights as an immigrant, their rights as a worker, their rights as a tenant, their rights as a partner, their rights as a fucking human. And it drives me mad when people are not aware of their rights. Another right that I wasn't aware of, but now I am, is that I can leave my job for less than half a day, not lose pay, not use a sick day. How fucking cool is that? I'm so glad I'm aware of it. So if I have to meet only for doctor's appointments. So if I need to go to the doctor, the dentist, or something important, I can tell my students, hey, I'm going out for an appointment. I'll be back. And that's all I need to do. I don't need to give them extra work. I don't need to tell anyone. I can just fucking go. I love that about my job. And before now, I was not aware of that rule, but now I am. And all my medical appointments happen during work time because I am not using my free time to do work when I could be doing it on the fucking clock for the college. Fucking coffee hits the fucking spot. All right, the last one. This was a good one. Is it good or bad to check people out at the gym? Oh, so I included that because, well, it's a fucking funny one. And I had one student who said, absolutely, it's okay to check people out at the gym. And I had another student say, are you fucking crazy? Well, without the fucking, but in my head, they did swear. To check people out. So check out is the phrasal verb, or the verb and the preposition. Check out has many meanings, as you know. Check out of a hotel. Check out a restaurant. Check a book out from the library, for example. But in this case, to check a person out. And if you're in the gym and you check someone out, you should fucking stop, you fucking pervert. Check someone out means to look at them sexually. Check someone out means to look at a person and judge whether you think they're hot or not. Now, when you're in a nightclub, you might check someone out. You know, you see a hot chick walk by and you're like, ooh, yeah, she's hot. In a nightclub, maybe it's okay to check someone out. In a fucking gym, no, it is not okay to check someone out. People are there to exercise. People are there to get sweaty. People are there to get fit, to get in shape. You should not be checking someone out. You should not be looking at someone and thinking, wow, that person is sexy. Ooh, look at them lift those weights. Oh, I wonder if they could lift me. Don't be that person, because if you are, you're a fucking creep. And don't be a gym creep. Like, I've been going to the gym for well over a year on a regular fucking basis. And yeah, there are some very fucking fit people. Fit as in sexy, fit as in healthy. Did you know you can use fit as an adjective for a sexy person? She is fit, he is fit. Oh, there's one. And you can also use fit for physically healthy. Oh, he is fit, I am fit, for example. But yeah, in the gym, yes, there are sexy people in the gym, but do not check them out. Yeah, you can look at people. It's normal. And yes, there are times I'm watching one or two people do certain exercises because it's like, I want to do that fucking exercise. But I am not checking them out. I'm checking the exercise out. But no way am I checking out those people at the gym. Because that is filthy. People should be able to go to the gym without being checked out. God, that's a lovely one. Check out. And it was just so funny yesterday because only one or two of my students actually knew what I meant by that question, check a person out at the gym. And it's funny because those are the people that go to the gym. And it is a common problem in a gym when people are checking people out in gyms. You're there to fucking exercise, not find a partner, not date. So keep your eyes to yourself. Don't let your eyes wander. Don't check people out at the gym. And I don't know, if there is someone you fancy, well, just don't check them out. I don't know when's a good time to talk to them, but not at the fucking gym, I'd say. So, to check someone out is to look at a person sexually and think, is that person hot or not? Okay, my friends. So, the first one we looked at today was afraid of. Number 2, hopeless at. 3, combine with. 4, rely on. 5, save up. 6, aware of. And 7, check out. So many beautiful examples of collocations with prepositions. And there are so many more to talk about, and we will talk about in the future. However, I need to get my shit together because it's coming up on 9:10 or 9:11 a.m. in the morning. And that means I need to pack my bag, pack my lunch, maybe have one more cup of coffee, and then hit the road and bring home the bacon. That is my plan. So once more, the questions. Number 1, what are you afraid of? 2, what is something you're hopeless at? 3, what can you combine with vodka to make a cocktail? What 2 drinks should you never combine? Number 4, who is someone in your life you can always rely on? 5, I need to save up to buy a new car. What can I do? 6, what are some issues people are not aware of but should be? And 7, is it good or bad to check people out at the gym? beautiful questions. Listen back to all the different ways we can use them. All right, motherfuckers, my name is Ronan. I'm about to go. I'll see you later, and I hope you have a wonderful fucking day. Bye for now.